This video is sponsored by nobody, so fucking subscribe. Hitting the button is shit now. We have a job to do, viewer, which is watching the video. Thank you. Call of Duty Cold War is the gazillionth number in the franchise and is an attempt, like last year's Modern Warfare, to try and make COD great again.
Check your shots.
This video will be looking at Cold War. No, not that one. So in the same vein as Modern Warfare 2019, Treyarch, along with Raven, went back to the Black Ops IP, like how Infinity Ward went back to the Modern Warfare IP, and actually decided to make a campaign this time around. I'm looking at you, Black Ops 4, but looking into this game's creation shows that it was actually meant to be done by Sledgehammer and Raven, not Treyarch, but apparently development wasn't going well between the two studios. So Activision brought along Treyarch to replace Sledgehammer, letting their COD be released next year, leaving Treyarch and Raven to give us the game that we have today. Also, this game is rated a 4.6 out of 5 by Smith's Toys, so you know it's good. With the themes of Black Ops 1, and the ability to have a choice in a story like 2, going back to the Cold War times of Black Ops 1, but in a more horrific time era than the 60s. The 80s, where aerobics wasn't a war crime, there was cocaine, and Reaganomics had invaded your love life.
Conversation, Reagan referred to leaders of African nations as, quote, monkeys.
Cocaine, neon, cocaine,
The man loved cocaine.
and nuclear tension at its highest since the Cuban Missile Crisis. But what is the Cold War? Well, back during the times of the Second Great Oof, where Uncle Joe and Daddy Roosevelt were smacking their big schlongs on Cousin Adolf, and he did the appropriate thing by killing himself, leaving 2 big schlongs left, but there could only be one. So they went to Japan and accidentally created anime. You know what? That's staying in the script. Alright, realist time. At the end of the Second World War, the authoritarian communists of the East under the USSR and the capitalist democracies of the West started to see each other less as friends and more as adversaries. After Hitler did the only good thing he contributed to the world by killing himself.
Und im Osten ist der Feind bis zur Linie Lichtenberg-Marsdorf, Karlshorst gelangt.
Mit dem Angriff Steiners wird das alles in Ordnung kommen.
Mein Führer, Steiner konnte nicht genügend Kräfte für einen Angriff massieren.
My friend has gone down. I revived him, now we're heading southbound. Now we're in the Pleasant Park streets. Look at the map, go to the marked sheet.
The friend mass dropped, especially as the Soviets weren't liberating Eastern Europe, but putting a gun up to its head and saying, "You work for me now, duh." At the same time, the USA was inserting itself as the dominant power in the West, shoving Britain and France so hard out of the way, their empire smashed. And along with all that, the USA created the first nuke, meaning, if there was going to be another war, this time between East and West, it'd make all other wars, together, seem like nothing. So the board is set. The 2 superpowers of the world, who both just won a big war, and want to be the only one left to dominate the globe. And so, when did this war happen? Well, it didn't. Next we'll do that. The Cold War was about espionage, top secret missions, assassinations, influencing elections, civil wars, or just invading countries so small they'll collapse, right guys? So in a basic summary, it was a 50-year-long staring contest with some other elements thrown in, like nuclear holocaust. But you know the rest. And anyways, this is a look at COD Cold War, not the history of the Cold War. God would be here forever. Since I was a little panzer, I played my first Call of Duty, COD 4,
Right. What the hell kind of name is Soap, eh?
and I've been playing most of them ever since. Some good, some bad. And this one I really like. It has your multiplayer and your zomberts, but we'll get to talking about them later. This video will be mainly looking at the campaign of Cold War, which I think is one of the best ones they've done in a long time. I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2019, but this has mechanics from BO2 such as multiple endings and choices, and the themes and questions it makes you ask I find are very intriguing. But more on this later. Let's dive straight into Cold War's campaign. You start with multiple save files, which already tries to encourage you to try different actions and decisions when you play. Now, the difficulty. Ain't anything new since the last one. And since I'm an epic gamer, I'll pick the hardest difficulty and dive straight in. The game plays some copyright music, always a good start, and shows clips from the 80s, both from the US and the USSR, to try and give us a feel of the 80s before shifting to a more serious tone of the Cold War.
Some U.S. intelligence analysts believe America is already in a state of war with the Soviet Union.
With the paranoia of the USA suspecting spies among themselves.
Are Soviet spies living among us?
See what I did there? And the Soviets flexing their parades. The TV mentions how the tension is rising between the two superpowers, as this is the era where detente was at an end, and the arms race was back on. Then, the TV shows a hostage situation in Iran, with 52 American diplomats and civilians held hostage as a result of the Iranian Revolution. We hear the voice of a man named Black, talking to Reagan about the hostage situation, and gives us the two faces and names of the guys who will be sent to deal with.
52 American citizens have been taken hostage at the American Embassy in Tehran.
An unnamed White House official claims that a Cold War disaster could be just around the corner.
Mr. President, we have two names linked to the hostage situation. Arash Kadivar and Qasim Javadi. Just give the word.
It's time to send a message. There will be no more hostages.
Black is somebody who only talks to the President and Hudson for the game. We never see him or get to know him. He kinda just represents the CIA, even with his name being linked to themes of the CIA. Black Ops missions, Black Ink, dealing with things in the shadow, all things you could possibly link his name to. This was only the intro, but it sets up the theme of the Cold War, as well as the 80s, very well in my opinion, bringing you straight into the game, ready to commit war crimes on the side of McDonald's in 4 more years. You start off as everybody's favourite's number boy, Mason.
Hey! Who are you people? What do you want from me?
We want the numbers, Mason. That's all we've ever wanted.
In a familiar way to the beginning of Black Ops 1. This is where we're introduced to Russell Adler, a new character who'll be with us for most of the game. He's a no-nonsense CIA agent who gets the job done, no matter the costs, while also looking like a snack. How very CIA. Adler has bribed the Dutch police so we can grab Qasim, without the local authorities saying we can't shoot up the neighbourhood. Puh, liberals, am I right?
Qasim is in his apartment, but he's well protected. Can keep my men out of the area for 15 minutes. I hope you brought an army.
We brought enough. Pleasure doing business with you, Hans. Come on. Woods is itching for a dust-up. We don't want to let him down.
Also, how much money is that? The hell were the Dutch using before the euro? Monopoly yen?
Gilder.
How good looking this game is, even though I'm running on a PS4 and it doesn't look like a PS2 game, not mentioning any names in particular. You go in the back alley, where we're introduced to my boy Woods, and the first thing he asks you is what gun you want. Which makes me very happy.
We're on the clock. Let's not keep Qasim waiting.
Hey, Mason. Party favors are in the trunk.
How very American. You follow your companions to the house with the bad people.
Do we really need to take this son of a bitch alive, Adler?
Qasim has info we need. Everyone else can take a powder.
Hans only bought us 15 minutes. We need to hit Qasim hard and fast. Let's go.
And you light the place up like an IRS raid when you haven't paid your taxes.
Let's help him ring in the new year. Light him up, Mason.
Go!
Quick note, the gunplay/gameplay is just as fun as any COD game, but it makes you feel great when you start popping fills. It really makes you feel like Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. You push out with your teammates to the roof, where you're given an option to execute an enemy like it's doomed, or use the UN-approved tactic of human shields, which is fun, especially when you use them as a discount suicide bomber. I didn't use the human shield too much in the game. It's still a fun feature to use, even if it's not as useful as I'd like it to be. The executions, on the other hand, oh, they better stay in the game. It pleases my inner psychopath. This isn't a suggestion, Shark, this is a threat. Keep it in the game. So you chase your boy on the roof, find his goons, until you do some Michael Bay action scene, where you catch him.
Go, go! Hurry up! Nowhere left to run. We can work some hop!
You're up, Mason.
Ay, Khoda. Hey, wait. Wait! Oh.
This is our first experience choosing dialogue, with different results depending on what you pick.
I just handle the money. I have no idea where Arashi is.
We get to see Adler do some war crimes.
Americans have rules. You have rules.
You took hostages. The rules changed.
Wait. He's in Turkey. He's meeting someone in Trabzon airfield tomorrow night.
One line will have you get a piece of code, which will be used for one of the side quests.
I swear I don't know. They only communicate with coded messages.
Or you can just throw him off the roof.
One down, one to go.
I get the next.
Another will let you take him into CIA custody, where no violations of human rights will be breached. Have fun with the Moby Dick technique, fucker.
Let me know if you need some help looking for it.
Hudson, we're bringing you a present. He's in Trabzon, Turkey.
But this is something I love about Cold War. The choice of dialogue adds more investment to your character as you choose what you get to say, meaning you get certain information or different reactions depending on what you choose. Overall, I like it and I hope they add more to it, especially in future games. Please, Activision. Qasim gave up his friend. Now we're going to greatest country ever, Turkey, to get the guy.
Qasim is out of the picture.
How long before we get Arash?
The team arrived in Turkey a few hours ago. They should be in position shortly.
Airfield's just up ahead. Let's go find this shithead.
You sneak up on the bad guys and give him the job of IDing Arash, before blowing his brains out.
Mason, check it out. Any sign of Arash? That's not him.
Incoming truck, left side.
Arash might be in the truck.
I can't make out his face yet. I don't want him. He just diced everyone in the truck. That's gotta be Arash.
Hold fire. We need a positive ID.
You end up finding a man after he game ends some nobody for breaking the admin rules on the life server. So in return, you try to do the same for him. Only for God himself to say nope. Making you have to chase the bastard while killing his goons. But he's on a plane, so you get in a car. But the enemy have also upgraded the cars too, but you murder them, until you have to use the CIA secret weapon of a toy car with C4 on it. After blowing up the belly of the plane, a Michael Bay scene plays, showing why you shouldn't blow up a plane mid-powering up. After waking up, you get to Arash, where he starts talking, while Woods does an epic power kick on him.
His plan is already underway. You won't be able to stop him this time. Stop who? Perseus.
This is the first mention of Perseus, the game's antagonist, a supposed real spy that stole research from the Manhattan Project. Other than that, there's not much known about him. Some say Perseus was just a distraction to keep the US looking for him while missing the real spy, but some KGB people say that he was a real spy, so Raven and Shrek decided to fill in the blanks and made him the main antagonist of the game.
Bullshit. Perseus is dead.
Dead? All this time and you didn't even know. Perseus will watch the West.
Whoopsie!
Hudson will want to hear about this. Let's sweep the tarmac for survivors and get to Langley.
Who the fuck is Perseus?
And proceeds to set him up in the next scene.
1943. Detailed information from the Manhattan Project was stolen from Los Alamos by the Russian spy known as Perseus. 1968, Vietnam War. Viet Cong soldiers, orchestrated by Perseus, attempted to steal an American-made nuclear bomb from a U.S. firebase. 5 days ago, while on a mission, we acquired intel that Perseus is in play again and planning an attack on the West. Perseus. The CIA's analysts consider him to be the single largest threat to the free world.
Mr. Hudson, we're all aware of Perseus. We're also aware he's more myth than fact. I mean, personally, I think he's nothing more than the Russian boogeyman.
General Haig, allow me to introduce the man best suited to respond to that. CIA clandestine special officer Russell Adler. He's one of the few people who even come close to capturing Perseus.
Mr. Adler, why should we take this Perseus threat seriously?
You don't have to, sir.
Yeah, then a lot of innocent people are gonna die.
Why do you say that?
Sir.
Every time Perseus has come into play, it's shifted the balance of the Cold War. After 13 years of silence, if he's active, something big is gonna happen. Something that will affect the free world.
Mr. President.
Sir. Mr. President.
Mr. President, this is Jason Hudson and Russell Adler.
I know their names. Who do you think approved their last mission? Is the threat real?
Yes, sir, we believe it is.
Can you stop Perseus?
We can, sir. I've already submitted the requisition for my team.
Sir, their requests are highly irregular. Most likely illegal if the press gets a hold.
What the hell are you talking about? You know who we are?
Every mission we go on is illegal. Sergeant Woods, plausible deniability is the backbone of our work.
Al, we're talking about preventing an attack on the free men and women of the world. Give Mr. Adler whatever he wants. Gentlemen, you've been given an important task. protecting our very way of life from a great evil. There is no higher duty, there is no higher honor. And while few people will know of your struggles, rest assured, the entire free world will benefit. I know you won't fail us.
You must sneak crack into black neighborhoods in Baltimore. After Raygun is done talking, it skips to 5 weeks later, where we can set up our cast of characters.
Lead on Perseus.
They're about to get started. Adler's in West Berlin. He should be at the safe house soon.
Do you trust him?
I'm not the one you should be asking, Black.
What about his team?
It's a strong group. He chased down Sims, Azalea, even pulled some strings to get Helen Park from MI6. We'll get them Mason and Woods soon.
As well as it introduces you to your own character, codename Belle.
The new one.
Belle? Well, don't get me started. That's the one we need to keep our eyes on.
Where you're given the choice to choose your name, where you were born, skin color, your professional background, gender, and special perks that gives your character bonuses that you can pick 2 of. I really like this feature, as it adds to playing to your own character, as well as it makes you more invested into creating a certain type of character. It changes up the gameplay a bit, making every run slightly different, which is always a positive. The dialogue changes between your gender and your background of choice. Overall, you get a good one from me, COD. Like my opinion matters. After all that's done, you get introduced to your hideout, called
Die Landebahn,
or Runaway. Your crew is an MI6 agent, Park, a sassy English woman who's definitely going to get beat if England doesn't win the Euros. Oh shit. She also needs no man in getting away of her killing, torturing, whatever else she does on a Saturday evening. Leaving us to her online simp, Lazar, an Israeli Mossad agent / CIA agent, because 2's better than 1. He's just a chill guy who just does stuff and things, and he's not really important, not gonna lie. Then we have Sims, a Vietnam vet who is also dealing in the black market, getting the characters' equipments and other items that they need for their missions. He is the least character you'll talk to and interact with, so
No. Forget about it.
The game states there are no leads on Perseus, so you're asked to remember your time in Vietnam with Sims and Adler, where you had an encounter with some of his forces during a mission.
So we're going back here. Vietnam, 1968. One of our closest encounters with Perseus.
Shit. Some part of me always knew that mission wasn't done with us.
Pull up everything we've got on the attack in Da Nang and run it past Park. She'll cross-reference it with MI6.
We're looking for code names, encrypted transmission, Russian activity with NVA, anything that could be a lead.
Good. Belle, this is where you come in. Your MI6 experience helped our team back in Nam, and I'm counting on it once again. Head to the evidence board. We'll retrace our steps through Da Nang. Anything that could give us a lead on Perseus.
But before you jump into the jungle, you can talk to your new team, which I love in this game. If you don't care about learning about them and you just want to jump in and play the game, you can do that. Or you can learn small tidbits about them, or about the mission, or their characters, or opinions on certain other characters.
Belle, you're looking a little pale. You up for this? Good. You just moved up on my favorite team member list. Right past Lazar.
But talking to them isn't the only way to get to know them. You can read about them on the terminal, as well as other bits of Black Ops lore, or listen to their interactions with other characters.
Pretend like it's... what's his name? That guy back in Vienna. You know. Come on, baby.
This stuff is optional, which I like. Yes, you can miss it, but if you're just someone who wants to play the game and nothing more, you can just do that. Or if you're like me, and want to learn more about the world you're in, it also stops the game from having moments where the story stops, so you can be told by the story to care about a certain character. But instead you get the option if you want to learn more about them than the basics. I hope this stays and is added to in later games, like many other things in this game. There's also a locked door in the hideout, which you can open with a code with parts lying around. you get access to a computer like the one in Black Ops 1.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
There's also an arcade machine back here, as throughout the levels you can get a chance to play some old Activision games, and then you can play them at your hideout once you've collected them. As well as there's a radio here which will become much more useful later in the game. The evidence board is how you check your missions. You look at evidence which have 10 bits of little detail to them and lore, as well as side missions, but we'll talk about the side missions later in this video. So let's jump back into the family fun of Vietnam with a discount special on Fun Juice.
All right, Bell. We're going back to Vietnam. First time Perseus pinged our radar. It was late January '68. We were a joint CIA-SOG task force embedded within the 3rd Marine Regiment near Da Nang. SOG was there to sniff out Soviet activity. Word had it Russian operatives were active in the region.
Perseus had no known presence in Vietnam.
That changed at Da Nang. Somehow Perseus knew about Operation Fracture Jaw.
Fracture Jaw? That one sure went sideways.
We launched out of Camp Haskins.
Yeah, I'll never forget that shit.
Good. We want those memories. No details too small. A face, a name. We're looking for anything that can lead us to Perseus.
This feels like looking for a needle in a haystack, in a field of haystacks.
Maybe, but that needle's somewhere. Remember, we had a job to do.
Fracture Jaw. That one sure went sideways.
You're awakened by Adler being a dick, and get to see an American camp in Vietnam. Reminds me of the bit at the beginning of Modern Warfare 2. Side note, you can change your guns in this area. For me, this shoddy is coming with me, and you can't say anything about it.
Ironic.
You hop onto the helicopter where it plays copyrighted music.
FOB4 Ripcord is holding a vital asset Charlie wants real bad.
What kind of asset are we talking about?
The kind you don't ask about. Ripcord has been taking a hell of a beating, so it's our job to secure the asset and get the fuck out. Relax, we got fast flyers providing combat air support for this mission. It'll be a walk in the park.
While showing the beautiful countryside of Vietnam without it being on fire, before getting told more about the mission.
The news isn't bad. In fact, it could be very, very good. The asset at Ripcord is gonna have to wait a little while. We're breaking off from the Armada, taking a detour. And that's good because a source tipped us off that there may be a heavy hitter in town. A Soviet operative known as Perseus. Oh, shit. Appreciate the enthusiasm, Sims. If our source is right, we could be looking at an intel gold mine.
After a ringing sound, a white screen appears.
First time Perseus pinged our radar.
And you get a minigun, and you're allowed to gun down anyone you see, like a true American in Vietnam. After the taxi lands, you start pushing through the Viet Cong forces, looking for this intel, pushing from house to house, street to street, while you notice a guy doing a roll while shouting Suka Bliet.
Suka Bliet, ouch.
And you suspect the Soviet forces are in the area. Then you gun all the Soviets down, along with some Vietnamese. Until you come across a strange red door. This seems weird in a traditional Vietnamese building. After going through, Sims clears the room.
It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. You hear that? It's on you, Bell. Open the door. Adler, we confirmed it. Soviets on site.
And you grab the dossier with the intel on Perseus. After that, you hightail it out of there, where instead of using the minigun to the helicopter, you use the helicopter. To mow down the Vietnamese population. God bless America. After missiling several Vietnamese villages for the fun of it, a Soviet helicopter appears. And you blow it up. You get to the base with the asset. After saving the base, you finally find out what the asset is.
days is still hot, so watch yourselves. Roger that, Ripcord.
You Adler? Mac V SOG?
Yeah, just hurry the fuck up already.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Don't thank me, thank Bell. He's the one who just snagged us a fucking phone book full of Soviet intel. Let's go, now.
Godspeed, Commander.
A fucking nuke? Are you fucking kidding me, Adler?
Yes, it's a nuke. And the crazy thing is, this almost happened. General William C. Westmoreland? Westmoreland, that's a big second name, what the thought it would be a good idea just to have nukes at the side, if needed. But when the White House found out about this and went, "Da fuck," stopped the operation from happening. Thank God. You and your team are flown out right before you're hit and crash.
Somehow Perseus knew.
Sims, Bell, you okay?
You're then swarmed by Viet Cong and you have to fight them off. And you fight them off in the most American style ever, with some napalm. After burning the Rice Krispies, Sims says the obvious thing.
At least the nuke didn't go off.
And the mission ends with the intel on Perseus, which ends up giving us names for individuals who may know what Perseus is planning.
Told you we had a job to do. It ain't done yet, not by a long way.
So overall, the mission gives you some of those Vietnam vibes that seem to be necessary in any Cold War game.
Yeah.
How did the memory exercise go?
Well, to hear it from Adler, it's working. Bell remembered finding that encrypted intel in Vietnam and is almost finished decoding it.
Anything useful in there?
Some names, apparently. Possible leads. Park is trying to connect the dots.
We don't have much time. Does the team know about our mishap in Berlin yet?
No, but if it's connected to one of those names from Bell, they'll find out soon enough.
You won't let that happen, Hudson. Don't say anything more than necessary.
That's never been a problem for me.
Your team gets debriefed, where you learn your new target.
We've finished analyzing the names Bell acquired at Da Nang. One in particular stands out. Anton Volkov. He's a Russian arms dealer working out of East Berlin. Admittedly, his connection to Perseus comes as a surprise.
We've got killer capture orders on Volkov. So if we can't get to Perseus, we'll get to his men. Close off his resources, force him out of hiding. Mason and Woods are still wrapping up business in Kiev. Which means Volkov is ours. Gear up, and we'll move out.
MI6 has been tracking Volkov for several years. It is my strong preference that we attempt to capture rather than kill him. He holds on.
And before heading out, you can go talk to people again, where you learn that Sims is still haunted by his time in Vietnam. You shouldn't have shot those kids, Sim. They weren't even Vietnamese, they were from Laos. You fucking race. To the point that he forgets that you also went through the same stuff as him.
Yeah? Talking about that mission was tough for you too. Hell, I don't know what I'm saying. Of course it was tough for you. You went through that shit like everyone else.
After that, you can talk to Park, where she mentions that you decoded the intel because you're big brain, but not big brain enough to remember it.
Well, you tell me. After we dug it up, you spent 2 full hours decrypting everything inside. You seem to think Volkov was the name to pay attention to. Are you feeling all right, Bell? That's one of the reasons we wanted you on this team. Not even the CIA's best cryptographers have been able to crack that dossier. You're special, Bell. But it also sounds like you need a nap.
maybe showing Bell's trauma from his time in Vietnam. And then you can speak to Adler, where you learn about his ex-wife.
We archive everything. CIA is like my ex-wife. Won't throw a damn thing away.
Yeah.
The trick is knowing what's buried in that pile and getting the thing you need when you need it.
Doc, I think you want this one. You bound some checks again?
Collections? I'll take it back here.
What? You think everything's about you now?
That's one perspective. I thought it went pretty damn well. What did you think of it? You always did have the most remarkable sense of humor. Right. Now don't worry, you're stocked. I've got enough to last at least a couple months. Did you just call me an optimist? I see. Well, you have yourself a wonderful fucking day, too. Bye.
After that, you're on your way to East Berlin, my favorite Berlin, to find Anton by following one of his goons. So you sneak in via the underground train network.
We just passed under the wall into East Berlin. Get ready. Adler, the back car is clear. We're good to go.
Train's slowing down. Let's go to work.
All right, here we go.
And hop into East Germany. See, wasn't that hard to get in. Can't be that hard to get out.
Careful. East German guards still patrol these abandoned stations.
After killing a few guards,
Now! Nice work. Let's clean this up.
and not causing a diplomatic incident, you get to a roof where you wait for your target. Once you've found him, you see him enter a bar. You get down off the roof, and Adler tells you to meet with Hudson's contact in the bar.
She'll have a blue umbrella.
After you find your gamer girl, you pull out the first ever vape with a microphone, and you learn more about Volkov, and won't be in the country for long.
The man's like a ghost. I would guess no more than a day.
So she asks you to find one of her informants that was captured by the Stasi.
One of my informants was picked up in a random sweep just 2 blocks from here. The Stasi must assume they are more nearby.
And to either rescue him, or take care of him, if you know what I mean, eh?
I would ask a favor of you. He will not hold up under torture for long. We need him rescued. Or silenced. They're holding him here. Dankeschön.
An optional side mission in the mission, which is fun, I guess. Before long, the East German police interrupt your date with the gamer girl, so you do the manly thing and abruptly leave via the bathroom, where you must avoid the police and get to Lazar. Also, this is the first time you experience lockpicking in the game, which is still not better than Skyrim's. And you can tag enemies with your camera while sneaking around, so basically a Far Cry clone. You can take out the guards or leave them be. This is also where you can get to do the side mission from earlier, where I saved the German guy strapped to the chair. After meeting up with Lazar, he takes you to the park, where she decides the only way to find Anton is to put a tracker in his suitcase. But you'll have to sneak into his apartment, avoiding his wife, but I bet he already does that. But if you want, you could trank her. After sneaking in, you can find his office and use a blacklight to find things that you don't want to talk about in your mission report. After finding a secret red room, where the case is, you see something that looks like a bomb.
Just plant the tracker and get out of there.
Before hearing a noise coming from the closet, where you find your date, didn't know she was gay, and are knocked out. You're taken to a warehouse where Anton is, where you find out that a little shit that you saved ratted you out.
You allowed him to break into your bus. I can't explain how he got to the materials, but I brought him to you. That makes this much less unpleasant for you. Perseus has been looking for this one. Then you let Perseus know and capture it. We have Greta Killer as well. Her own colleague ratted her out.
You spineless piece of shit.
I'm sorry, Greta. The KGB's pockets are deeper.
Finally. Perseus has a large bounty on your head.
And depending on what you say, your gamer girlfriend might visit the chiropractor.
She gets it easy. Do not tempt me to bring out my toys. I will ask again. Who do you work for?
Before anything happens to you, your buddies save you.
What kind of fool are you? You think you will die with dignity here? You are damaged goods. Be a grave to the hunchback. Что такое?
I'll secure the case. Get Volkov.
Once you've killed a warehouse full of men, you get to Sokolov, where you can take him into custody or kill him.
You and I.
You did the right thing. One of Perseus's men off the board.
Is it? I wanted him alive. MI6 could have gotten so much more out of him.
Can't win them all. Now let's get the hell out of East Berlin.
For this gameplay, we're going to take him in.
At last. Bell, on behalf of MI6, thank you. Volkov is ours.
More than he deserves. Now let's get the hell out of East Berlin.
I think this mission's fun to play for a few times before it gets a bit boring. It's very good at a showpiece mission. And by that I mean the game wants you to watch and do certain actions with not much option, more for a cinematic effect. But at the same time, the different ways you can deal with a side mission I like. You can free him or just kill him or read the KGB report and confront him about his collaboration with the Soviets. Overall, it's fun, but there can be more to hold my attention for the long term than giving me a good experience in the short term, with a linear flair to it. You get a lead that leads you to the USSR, a secret base in the Ukraine SSR, where you and the boys need to know what's going on in the base.
Information from Volkov confirms our worst fears. Perseus smuggled a nuclear device through East Berlin.
We can't be certain of that yet.
He has it. I'm sure of it.
We found encrypted geo-coordinates with Volkov's nuclear intel. An unpopulated region within the Soviet Republic of Ukraine.
An aerial recon run revealed this.
I want to know everything that's going on inside this building. We'll need the others for this one. Mason and Woods will join us from Kiev. Bell, you'll infill here with Woods. Mason and I will be standing by for an extract. Park will handle comms. We have no idea how large or prepared their forces will be, so use discretion if you have to engage. It's time we took a peek behind the Iron Curtain.
I'm not picking up any extra chatter. You're in the clear, Woods.
Copy that, Park. Stay on comms. Keep Mason and Adler on standby. Let's go. Look at that monster. The Reds could be hiding anything inside. Snap a picture. Ops want to see this. Right.
You see a side objective in the mission. which requires you to take 6 photos of the base, giving you intel on the place as you get closer to the building. As you get closer to the building, you and Woods split up, so you try to get in until a gentleman opens the door for you. Not gonna lie, this bit scared me.
You're welcome. You lost something.
After the reunion, you and Woods continue further into the base. By the way, there's a button that sounds the alarm. That Soviet soldier was trying to hit it before you blasted him in the head. But if you want, you can hit it and make the game a little harder for yourself.
What the fuck, Bell?
After clearing out some more Soviet soldiers and taking a few pictures, you and Woods go down a corridor where Woods lets you know behind this door is a lot of Soviets, and to get ready for a fight.
Be ready. Could be 1,000 Reds on the other side of this door. Cover me.
And then he attacks a sex doll.
Not a fucking word, Bell.
And then assaults another one. With Woods' 1000 IQ, he realizes this mock town is for Spetsnaz training, just in case the Russian forces have to come to the US to make sure every vote counts. It's not long before they notice you, and you have to fight in the fake town, with the Burger Town. After more killing and taking photos, you meet an armoured enemy for the first time who can survive a surprising amount of explosions.
That guy looks like a handful.
After Woods asks an existential question,
Sounds mad. Does she sound mad?
we move on to the command center, where you hop on the computer and start guessing passwords like a pro hacker.
Operation Greenlight. Restricted access.
What the fuck is Operation Greenlight? Bell, can you hack into that?
After gaining access, you find something called Operation Greenlight, and who's connected to it.
We confirmed it. The nuke smuggled out of Berlin is a Greenlight asset. It's one of ours.
If that gets out...
No one will know, not even Adler's team. The stakes are too high.
High is an understatement. We're talking about an American nuke hidden beneath Berlin. I want to make sure you're committed, Hudson.
The play's been called. The ball's in motion.
Well, if the asset learns the truth...
You're worried about truth now?
I'm concerned about control of the asset.
If we can't control the asset, we end the asset. Game over.
I'm grabbing a copy. This doesn't make any sense. Perseus infiltrated a CIA nuke program, codenamed Operation Greenlight, run by Hudson. The stolen nuke is American, and Hudson fucking knew.
Once you got the info, you and your buddy would bug out of there.
Fuck, they got another
Reaching an armored vehicle where you weirdly reenact Back to the Future that was directed by Michael Bay.
God damn it! It's called urban renewal, you assholes! Fuck that guy!
Before escaping. Once you're back, the gang asks nicely why Hudson was a sneaky sussy backer.
Gather everyone, Park. The whole team. Hudson's got a shit ton of explaining to do.
Yes, sir, I'm on it.
nuke was from Greenlight. Didn't tell us. What else are you hiding? Maybe I can knock the truth out of you.
You might want to rethink that, Woods.
Everybody stand down. This little pissing match isn't gonna help us catch Perseus.
Why didn't you tell us it was an American nuke?
He needed us to clean up his mess. The bastard's been lying to us all along.
It's not a lie. It's an omission of fact.
That's what you do best, isn't it, Hudson? Manipulate people. Tell them your own version of the truth.
There is no truth. Only who you choose to believe. Adler knows all about that. Don't you, Russ?
Operation Greenlight. What is it? Tell us everything.
Back in '58, the arms race was in full swing. Eisenhower was convinced if the Reds moved on Europe, we couldn't respond quick enough. So he authorized Operation Greenlight, a top-secret program that placed nuclear bombs in every major European city. The ultimate countermeasure to a Soviet invasion. 74 of the bombs were upgraded to high-yield neutron bombs, capable of terminating personnel without damaging infrastructure.
Thousands dying in a flash. You're talking about fucking infrastructure.
How's that for civilized? We kill the people but preserve the buildings.
We're trying to preserve our way of life.
How long have you known about the missing nuke?
One of the Greenlight nukes went offline 8 weeks ago. We suspected it was Perseus, but couldn't confirm it. So we saw the photos you brought back from East Berlin.
So, there's an American-made nuke in the wild. And once Perseus detonates it, the United States becomes global enemy #1.
We wouldn't have this problem if you'd done your job. Killed Perseus in Vietnam.
Careful, Hudson. Next time, I might not stop Woods.
After learning about Operation Greenlight, you, as Mason and Woods, are sent to a familiar place to get a server that Perseus is after, in Yamantau, located in the Ural Mountains, and also the place you, as Hudson in Black Ops 1, destroyed with an avalanche. But now, you're going back, and the atmosphere in the beginning of this mission is just amazing. Just listen to the music track of this place.
That's our inside man.
Don't let the smell of cheap vodka and caviar fool you. Dimitri's the real deal. He knows where all the bodies are buried. Hell, he buried half of them.
And being up in the mountains and sneaking about an abandoned facility, it's just, I don't know why, it makes me go, Anyways, you're dropped off by a KGB double agent, and are on the way to the facility. You shoot some peoples, and Woods makes a very odd comment.
I'm a goddamn onion, Mason. You should know that.
Look at that. Woo! To the good onion.
Before seeing the place you left in destruction last time.
The old SATCOM building. Still standing after all these years. Barely.
There's a bit of fan service in this mission, as there's items you can interact with, such as
crossbow.
Even with Mason seeing numbers showing up. There's few around the map, but I'll let you discover them. You move on when Woods makes a very controversial comment about Soviet engineering.
Soviet engineering.
You fight some more kill me nows, until Woods sacrifices you to the zipline gods. And you're left with only your knife, and you have to get back to Woods. You can either sneak past the enemies, or kill them like the cad you are. After waking up the entire Soviet Union to get back to Woods.
The ruckus you made, I'm surprised the entire Soviet Union ain't up our ass.
You see your target, a crane, and at the bottom, the server that Perseus wants. So you charge right into combat, getting assistance from your helicopter buddy. When you get to the building, the server, you slide down until you hit someone so hard that they become a ragdoll. Woods makes a comment about his PP.
No! It's regular size!
And you attach the helicopter to the server. As you try and survive the Soviet bullets being thrown at you, and your Soviet pilot. Eventually you get out, but there's bad news. Perseus got the name of the sleeper agents that Dragovich had back in Black Ops 1, but Perseus knew we'd be looking for it, so he wiped it clean, leaving our team with only one option left.
And?
Perseus was looking for the names of sleeper agents Dragovich used in 68.
Give us those names. We'll get Adler's team to track them down.
Perseus erased them.
Fuck me.
There's only one place you're gonna find that information now. The Lubyanka building.
What? KGB headquarters? Why didn't Perseus get them there himself?
I don't know. Maybe he's operating without authorization.
I'll let Adler know. But we're gonna do this the right way, or we're not gonna do it at all.
We need to get those names of the US sleeper agents before Perseus uses a US nuke to get the world to turn on the USA. To be honest, they could have just waited for America to do that to themselves. However, Hudson seems a bit uncomfortable with you going to Lubyanka, fucking KGB words. Lubyanka.
Plan. Bell, you with me. Lazar, be ready for exfil.
Are you taking him into the KGB with you? Are you crazy? Wait for Mason or Woods to return.
I don't need Mason or Woods. I need Bell. He's got the skill we need.
Are you enjoying this? You're risking the entire operation unnecessarily.
It's not unnecessary. It's calculated.
Just understand that if you botch this, we can't get those names. It's over.
But Adler sticks up for us, showing that he believes in our ability as a character. Thank you, Mr. Adler. Very cool.
I know you can do this. Hudson doesn't trust anyone he can't control.
After that exchange, you can go talk to everyone else again, including the man himself.
Have you come to convince me that you should be headlining this operation? Either as Adler's most trusted ally, or as cannon fodder. An excellent proposition.
As well as you can overhear Park and Lazar talking about a hit he did on someone who Park used to know. A friend who betrayed her and tried to kill her, but failed, leaving a scar on her neck. Lazar doesn't say it was him, but it's pretty clear it was. Imagine being such a simp you cut off someone's head. Anyways, you can even make a comment about Park's scar, where you can be, as they say in the UK, a proper dick.
Being cheeky, are we, Bell?
You can even ask Adler about his scar.
Scar? You mean this? Is it noticeable? Back in '73, I was nearly killed by a tiger while on a mission in Malaysia. But human ingenuity still rules the animal kingdom. You ever been attacked by a tiger, Bell?
But we'll come back to Adler's scar later in the video. Okay. You can talk to Lazar, and it's pretty clear he has a big old crush on crumpet-eating, tea-drinking, please stop internet.
Well, she's... You know what this dude thinks about Park?
Are you sleeping, you fat fuck? Come on!
Anyway, after Horny, we head to the KGB headquarters.
The Lubyanka building, KGB headquarters in Moscow. The sleeper agent records are stored in the archives 100 feet below ground in a nuclear defense command bunker.
Your only way in or out is through this high-security elevator.
We'll need proper credentials. That's where our asset Belikov comes into play. Belikov has been our source inside the KGB for nearly a decade. He'll get us in. He came through for us in Yamantau. He'll do it again.
This shit is crazy, even by his standards. You sure he's on board?
An immediate nuclear threat warrants every risk at this point. I'm sure he wouldn't disagree. Sims, get Belikov on the line.
Who you play as our friend from Yamantau. You connect to a secure line as Adler phones up. It's established that the KGB suspects a mole among them. Get it. It's among us. They can't let Adler and Bell in without a bunker key.
There's always a problem. Solve it.
Not yet. I know you have this under control.
But before that, you're requested to meet Mr. Pizza Hut.
Comrade Belikov, you've been summoned to the conference room upstairs. Secretary Gorbachev is here from the Central Committee.
So you head up in this very nice looking Soviet building and meet some familiar faces.
Comrade Belikov, have a seat. General Secretary Brezhnev has taken an interest in the new security development.
Petrenko, one of Dragovich's old partners, and Imran Zakhaev, and some other guy who's not really important to the Cold War. They bring up that there's a mole, and that only one person in the building has the bunker key, which you need.
Imran Zakhaev.
Thank you, Secretary Gorbachev. And thank you all for welcoming me with open arms. I can think of no greater tragedy than a home violated from the inside. Trust and love within a family is sacred.
Apparently, not everyone shares your beautiful sentiments.
Comrade Belikov, as head of security, I understand you've practically exhausted yourself trying to unearth this mole. How has that gone?
After you reassure them that you'll find the mole, you get on with it. This mission, I love. It reminds me of my opinion the best mission in called World War II, where you sneak around a Gestapo headquarters, but instead, KGB. There's a lot of ways you can approach this mission. You can make your own card, but that requires you to get into the armory, or you can confront General Charkov and get the key. You can even frame him, or you can get a prisoner to game end him. Either way, it's a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed this mission. Especially if you saved that little German shit at the beginning. You can finally get your revenge on him now. Just like the Russians got their revenge back in the 40s. After you've gotten the key, you head down the stairs and let yourself in. After calling some guards to knock them out for your uniforms,
Wasn't sure you'd come through.
I don't have much choice, do I?
once you've played with the bodies a little bit, if you get what I mean, you head into the bunker to get the names. But on the way you almost get caught at the checkpoint.
И куда-то вы направляетесь? Досмотр обязателен для всех, без исключения. Вы должны пройти досмотр. Товарищ, доставьте вашу сумку сюда для досмотра.
But thanks to our freedom-loving boy, you get away with it for now.
Товарищ, ты нужен Закаеву. Я разберусь. Спасибо, товарищ.
Поздравите, Беликов.
По-моему, я здесь, нет?
Пойдем.
Now to the elevator that'll take us to the bunker. But someone wants to say hi before you get there. Imran Zakhaev, where he asks you some questions. Get them right?
Кое-что Академия. Я как раз к нему на прием. Обязательно передам ему привет от вас.
It's assholes like that we gotta watch out for.
Get them wrong.
Вы что, сюда камень дерзите? Кто вы такие?
Elevator conversation always gets awkward.
Once you're at the bottom, you get ready.
Down here. Wait for my word.
And you walk straight up to the Ruskies and just start exchanging bullets. Push forward to the system which holds the names which you desperately need. As you keep moving, you put a sleepy grenade in the vent. That are Among Us reference, just in case we need it. As you keep pushing up, you'll see a big room full of guys who speak a very scary tongue, so you murder them all the appropriate way. And open the door. Adler closes the big metal door while you look up the names and copy them to a floppy disk. Yeah, a floppy disk. High tech back in the day. Wanna know a scary fact about the US nuclear silos? They still use floppy disks. Yeah, they use floppy disks for inputting instructions on the machines that run the facilities. So yeah, hope you sleep tight tonight knowing that all humanity might be ended by a floppy disk.
After the recording, I looked into it, and it was not.
While the download is going on, very angry Soviet soldiers are trying to get in, and eventually blow up the door. And you have to fight them off until the download is done. Once it is, Adler grabs it, and Adler and you push your way out there. They even turn off the lights to stop you.
We're sitting ducks here. Keep moving. We need to find a way out.
Very scary, but then I remembered I have a shotgun. But they've realised and taken your KGB buddy hostage.
You are surrounded. We have your
They've got Belikov. Time for Plan B, Bell. Activate the gas.
Drop your weapons.
So you put them to sleep.
When we move, get a mask on Belikov. I'll cover you. Come on. Thank you, my friend. What's the situation up top? They are on full alert, locking the building down. We'll have to fight our way out. We're gonna need some heavier gear. I know just the place, my friend.
And then the three of you push back into the elevator. Once you're in the elevator, you and your buddies get geared up for the new mission. No American.
Let's get up top.
Lazar, meet us in the southwest courtyard in 5 minutes. Belikov is hitching a ride.
Plenty of room in the backseat.
Once we get off the elevator, just keep moving towards the courtyard. Get the charge ready, Bell. Let's go, Bell.
As you blast through all the enemies, somehow not causing a diplomatic incident or a fucking war. You eventually get to your car, and you Michael Bay your way out of the mission.
I'll cover you.
Mission successful. The intel you found with Adler leads to a sleeper agent who is a nuclear scientist in the US.
Mess in Moscow. Was it worth it?
Adler managed to get the list of sleeper agent names, despite himself. He's got balls, I'll give him that.
Bell did well.
Seemingly. But I think that team is getting too comfortable. They're acting like they know who they're dealing with.
Perhaps.
Turns out, one of those sleeper agents is tied to Operation Greenlight. Theodore Hastings. He's a nuclear engineer based out of Salt Lake City.
And you believe Hastings is the one he'll activate?
Exactly. Total surveillance is already underway. It's only a matter of time before he leads us straight to Perseus.
After following him to Perseus' nuke, you find out where it is.
This is it. The recent movements of Theodore Hastings has led us here. Cuba. Right in our backyard.
Before we jump into the Bay of Pigs 2, back in the headquarters, the evidence board lets you look at 2 side missions, which compared to most games, it's not a lot of side missions, but hey, it's Call of Duty. Hopefully next time there'll be 4 side missions. One mission is hunting down an American double agent who has started an in-depth spy network in the US, and the other mission is hunting down one of Perseus' top agents who has spies in the top governments in Western Europe. How you do these missions successfully is that in the previous missions, there was pieces of evidence which you could collect and use to help you with these side missions. You can do the side missions without needing these pieces of evidence, but it makes it a lot easier if you collect them. Or you could just not bother with these extra bits of the side missions, but this means that you haven't hurt Perseus' plan as much as you could have. For the network mission, you have to try and gain access to the spy network. By solving it, you use the pieces of evidence that you've collected in the previous mission.
Hell yeah, that's it. You did it, Bell. Now that we got what we need, we can safely move on Aldrich.
The other side mission has you using the evidence to figure out of these people which 3 are Rudnick's spies, as you put a hit on them, and if you guess wrong, well, you just killed innocent people. Standard day for the CIA, I guess. This style of side mission really gets you into the mindset that you're trying to undermine a secret spy operation against the US. And if you have most of the evidence, it's not that hard to figure them out, so you're not left there bored having to look it up, as well as it's not super easy to the point you don't even bother looking for the evidence. Once you've cracked the network, or not, you're sent in to kill Aldrich.
Alright, I'll let Mason and Woods know that we're ready. They'll be handling this one. Our source tells us that Aldrich is about to move south across Colorado and into northern New Mexico. That's where we'll intercept his convoy. We can't let a former CIA operative run a Perseus spy factory. Let's put this asshole 6 feet under.
Mason and Woods intercepts Aldrich trying to get to Mexico, and like any police force in America, you open fire with a 50 cal machine gun. After pushing up and fighting the reinforcements of Soviets, you get to the motel, and instead of a hooker, you blast Aldrich with 2 other men. Once you snap some pics of him for the CIA necrophiles, before long, more Soviets show up, and you have to fight your way out to the chopper on top of the gas station.
Man, Mason! How about we get this thing moving? Good work, brother. Aldrich should have known the 2 of us would be coming for him. Guess we can't all be fucking geniuses.
The other mission has Mason and Woods go to the snowy lands of USSR land to kill Rudnick.
Okay. Woods and Mason are gonna take point on this. Apparently, Rudnick is lying low in a remote Soviet base in the mountains of Uzbekistan. Not remote enough. We're gonna land our boys nearby and pay him a little visit. Let's cut this Perseus sucker down to size.
After calling in a favor from God, Mason has to search 3 areas for Rudnick, while Woods covers him with a sniper. After finding him, he makes a run for the bunker, but you bust in there and pop a cap in his head.
He's раненый!
And you take another snap. You get out of there and you pop a smoke anywhere you think you can defend, and wait for the helicopter to come pick you up. But you get a little help from a gunship, which always helps in my opinion. After that, you hop in and the mission's over.
I think Perseus is gonna cry like a fucking baby when he hears we iced Rudnick. I hate babies.
I know this isn't a lot of side missions, but I really like what they've done. And the fact it affects the ending adds a sense of accomplishment for what you've done, especially if you did the extra bits and got it correct. Like most things in this game, I hope they add more and improve on it in future games, but overall, I like the attempt they made here for side missions. It's not something you've seen in COD since Black Ops 2, and that was that long ago. Fuck, I'm getting old. But overall, good job. A gold sticker from me, Treyarch and Raven. After the side missions, we're back to the main mission on Cuba.
Right in our backyard.
A vacant government facility in the Cuban countryside has become a hub of activity for Perseus, and the likely location of the stolen nuke.
No doubt Castro allowed it.
$20 to anyone who can bring him down before me.
Who? Castro or Perseus?
Whoever.
We are not gonna let him move this nuke inside the States. It's time to take down Perseus once and for all.
Team, wrap up any unfinished business. Once we strike, there's no turning back.
We're told this is it. All or nothing. Finish up any side missions and anything else. After this, nothing's going to be the same again. We can hear Park asking Adler if they can talk in private. So, being the perv that I am, I follow them.
What's up?
I need a few minutes of your time to discuss it.
You available?
In private.
You ready?
Let's talk.
You look ready.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Only for them to drop a page out of a folder with some weird stuff on it. But anyways, this is the first time Bell can talk to Woods and Mason. They mentioned their involvement in the Bay of Pigs and how you were all in Vietnam at the same time and close to each other.
Yeah. No, we were after a different spying case, hon. That's right. Our team was right next to Adler's when we touched down in Way City.
That's also the first time I had the misfortune of meeting Hudson. In all those years, nothing's changed. He still has the personality of a wet fucking blanket.
Even talk about how long you've been chasing this ghost.
Yeah, for Adler, it's a culmination of 3 decades of meticulous tracking. He'll probably be extra pissy on this mission. I advise you to stay focused and drop the nostalgia.
You can even fanboy about them if you want, but Woods doesn't seem to like that.
You hear that? We're fucking legends.
Yeah, wherever we go, we bring the thunder. Man, get the fuck out of here with that shit. You seem pretty unimpressed over in Fake Town, USA. Or, are you talking about Mason right now?
As I live and breathe.
Going up to Hudson, he still seems unimpressed with you, even after last mission.
Indeed it did. Our insider delivered in a big way. As for you, the baseline expectation around here is to surpass every expectation. So from the bottom of my ass, welcome to the team.
He does mention how this is the closest we're ever going to get to Perseus, as the man is an enigma, according to him, and how he'd even smile once in his life if you personally brought him down. Not anyone else, you.
Negative. Even at this size, Perseus could catch our scent on the wind and try to relocate. In this scenario, less is more. It's as good as it's gonna get. The intelligence community has spent years trying to track Perseus to a concrete location. This guy lives between the lines of recorded history. Nothing would put a bigger smile on my face than you personally putting him down.
I guess you just think that low of me, eh, Hudson? Well, fuck you, I'll bring you Perseus' head. Anyway, after talking, it's time to go to the evidence board and catch this son of a bitch before he detonates a nuke on US soil.
Hastings left Salt Lake City. We tracked his movements all the way to Cuba. We have to assume Perseus moved the nuke there.
Langley believes Castro could help Perseus smuggle it into the US, in exchange for a peek at the hardware, of course.
That isn't gonna happen.
What's the plan?
The last read we have on Hastings came from 30 miles south of Havana. We suspect Perseus is using an abandoned compound there to hold the nuke. They're working under the radar, so expect moderate security.
I say we smash and grab. Parachute in, grab the nuke, skyhook out.
And what if the nuke isn't there?
It's there. The only reason Perseus needs Hastings in Cuba is to prepare it for arming and detonation.
There you have it. Hudson will arrange our exfil while we're en route. If everyone's ready, let's move out.
So for this mission, you're partnered with Park and Lazar, who have a severe case of the horny, to even the points where Woods even tells them to shut the fuck up.
Jesus, get a fucking room, you two!
You push up to the compound, and can I just point out that I have a sniper rifle, which is good for picking off people at distance, but I'm going inside a building and mainly fighting inside. So why sniper? Anyways, after 360 no-scoping everyone, we push in to see a lot of scientists are dead. Perseus is making sure he has no loose ends. Once their usefulness is up, he kills them. We pass a minefield and make it to a computer, where it connects to the facility's cameras. You skip through the cameras until you see a familiar face,
Keep looking.
before he starts gunning down people like an American math class,
Adler, we have eyes on the nuclear device. Bloody hell! Someone's killing the scientist!
and then hits the camera. After that, you know where Perseus is. It's time to catch him. After Lazar tries to impress Park by brutalizing a man.
Crude, but effective.
Can't keep your eyes off me, huh, Park?
We blow up a door and some Cubans, and we find the room where Perseus was in. You and Park enter, to find all but one scientist dead. Hastings, the guy who we followed here. But the nuke that Perseus wanted is here. And that's where Hastings reveals that Perseus didn't want to use the nuke in the US, but he wanted to reverse engineer it so he had access to not one Greenlight nuke, but all of them. Meaning, he now had the power to light up all of Europe in nuclear fire and blame it on the US. But Bell and the crew have to bug out of there as more Cuban forces have shown up. You politely ask them to die. You keep fighting until you find a way out. And once you get outside, you see a Soviet helicopter fly by, meaning Perseus has been picked up and we missed him. You end up fighting on the roof, trying to use the skyhook to try and get out of this based island. But more Cubans keep showing up and you have to fight them off until...
Take cover!
Shit!
You see your teammates on the ground. The skyhook is counting down. You have to make a choice. It can only be one. There isn't enough time to save both. You can even not make a choice and leave both of them for death. For the purposes for this gameplay and for the fact that multiplayer shows which one of them survives, we're going to be a simp. And now the fun begins. Hudson and Black discuss the fuck up that just happened, as well as something else.
Well, that was a goddamn fiasco.
You go in with the intel you have, not the intel you want. We paid the fucking piper down there.
You think this is Bell's fault?
I don't know whose fault it is. I just know that Perseus doesn't have a single fucking nuke. He's got dozens.
Millions of people are gonna die, and the United States will take the blame. You need to find out where he's planning to broadcast the activation signal.
How are we gonna pull that out of our ass?
Bell knows where it is.
Bell? This goddamn science project was a failure!
Don't count Adler out yet. The man has a deep bag of tricks.
Adler helps you into the safe house.
Come on, a little further.
You're broken after the last mission. You end up collapsing on the floor. He drags you in, asking for a gurney. Something isn't quite right. You didn't take any crippling damage. So what's going on? Depending on who you saved, talks to you.
Bell. I feel like I owe you. Bloody hell. Going to lose a lot more than Lazar if we don't execute this next move correctly. We need you to hang in there for one more assignment. I'm counting on you again, Bell.
Adler mentions dosages while strapping you in, and Hudson states that we have no more use anymore.
Adler, stop wasting our valuable time. He's of no use to us anymore.
We're told where the keys
Stay alert, Bell. You're the key to stopping Perseus.
You always have been.
No more half-assing it. We're doing an intracerebral injection.
Injecting directly into the brain could provoke seizures, or worse.
Damn, through the eye socket. You sure about this, Doc?
The memory should begin almost immediately.
Bell, listen to me. I need you to remember. Think back to our time in Vietnam one more time. We need to finish what we started. We had a job to do.
We start hearing a voice, warning us of Adler.
Do not trust Adler. Adler is lying to you. Do not trust him. Do not listen to Adler. He is lying to you. He is lying. Do not trust Adler.
We end up waking up back in Vietnam, in a downed helicopter, and Adler is speaking to us, almost like he's narrating a story.
The crash survivors were defending against a VC attack. You ran forward and picked up an M16.
But something doesn't seem right. You fight off the Viet Cong before they run back into the jungle.
The remaining VC fled into the tree line. It was then you realized you were the sole survivor. You set off to locate the bunker.
We're told to take a path.
The path split near a ruin, so you took the right fork, not the trail to the left.
At this point, I must make a disclaimer for the video. There's two strongly different ways of completing this mission. One fits more in line with one ending of this game, while the other fits more in line with the other ending. For this part of the video, we'll be split in two. We'll be doing one way of this mission, and seeing its outcome, and after we discuss the outcome of that ending, we'll return here to see the other outcome. We're told to take a path, and we follow. You sneak up on some VC. And press on until Adler speaks again. After that, you see a giant statue of Lenin. How and why is this in Vietnam? You press forward to a cave till Adler just changes your weapons somehow. And you see some Soviets with the Viet Cong. You take them out and find more and do the same to them. Before finding 3 more next to a huge bunker with a red door. You follow, entering the door.
Yes, good, the bunker. Now tell me about Perseus. We almost had it. Let's run 6.
Okay, ready.
Bell, we've got a job to do.
But we're back at the beginning. But it's night. Did we misremember something in our report? Or something else going on here? Anyways, we passed the Viet Cong. The same point last time. But we're told to take the other path.
Path split near a ruin. So you took the well-traveled trail on your left, not toward the waterfall on the right.
We take out some more VC and get to a bridge. But we see a familiar face before disappearing. Something is definitely wrong. We get caught up in a firefight and push through to another bunker. The same red door.
Entrance you described in the report.
This could be the onset of another focal seizure.
Back in the same corridor, we approach the room.
No, don't stop, Bell. Fuck! Hand me the fallback scenario manual.
Here it is.
Bell, we've got a job to do.
And we wake again, in the same place. The things are different.
Be brief. You woke up in the middle of a firefight. Crash survivor.
We now have a grenade launcher. And we're no longer shooting at VC, but Adler. We get the same split path again, and follow the same one. Across the bridge, we find a stone head of Adler, before heading left, into another firefight. After a tactical napalm strike, you see another bunker, with the same red door.
I don't care if the door was fucking stuck. Open it.
The door was gone. You follow the corridor to another red door. But we're in the same place. We see another red door and we try to reach it. But it gets further and further away.
I'm not sure how much longer Bell can last. Stabilizing. Operator's coming down.
The same place again, but doors are closing, bullets are flying. And Adler watches you like a demon before that door shuts too. We make it back to the same but normal corridor.
Why is Bell repeating himself?
Bell finds the red door and goes through. We see a lab. We haven't been to it. Or have we?
What the hell is Bell doing in the lab? Bell, forget about the damn lab. I need to know about the bunker.
Comrades, the United States and its allies slowly consume.
Everything freezes, and we see Perseus face to face. We go to the back of the room and see a computer, but before we go on it, we look around the room. We see post-it notes and other messages, saying some very disturbing things. We go on the computer, but it soon becomes gibberish and glitches out.
We've known each other for years.
It appears the subject's programming is beginning to take hold.
Been through the hell of Vietnam together. We got a job for you. Can Bell survive another round?
Now you're asking me.
Do it. We're not leaving empty-handed. Script 17.
Ready.
Bell, we've got a job to do.
We start in the same place for a fourth time, but this time Adler makes us skip it.
Skip ahead to the next one. The bunker door was right there at the ruins, Bell. You went in.
We see the red door and we're told to go in.
Bell, go into the bunker now.
We go in. And take a seat.
You're the only one who knows where Perseus is, where he'll detonate the nukes. Where is he, Bell?
We see Perseus and all of his allies that we've met through the campaign.
And its allies slowly consume that which is dear to us. Our leaders continue to weaken under this threat. It is the moral duty of Perseus to act when they will not. Soon we will possess an American nuclear bomb. The key to unlocking their entire Greenlight arsenal. Once we control the Greenlight arsenal, we will detonate them all from the safety of Solovetsky.
We come to remember some of the things that happened to us.
You gotta admit, I'm surprised. I didn't think they'd recover so fast. We tried everything. Normal forms of interrogation weren't working.
Breaking a subject's will and erasing their mind is a difficult and painful process.
That's a small price to pay.
The CIA's mind control program has had a great deal of success with implanted memories.
You want me to tell them about my time in Vietnam?
Lastly, you'll need a command phrase to trigger the implanted memories.
We have a job to do.
You had to reach the Soviet bunker.
It appears the subject's programming is beginning to take hold.
We've got a job to do. We've known each other for years. Fought together, bled together, been through the hell of Vietnam together. We've got a job to do.
And now the training's complete. You just need to give the subject a name.
Bell.
He's coming too.
Bell, no more fucking around. What did Perseus say? Where is he?
We are the one who was shot in the car in the beginning, in Turkey. We, our choices and our character, our memory was wiped for them to get information out of us. Our identity, our memory, our past, our family, our friends, everything that made you, your experiences, all of it, wiped clean to catch Perseus. It is the definition of the concept of the greater good. The ends justify the means.
Left you for dead.
When the plane leaves Trabzon, it's stopping in Duga. This you know. Here's what you don't know. Perseus won't be there. None of these hired guns are going to leave Duga alive. We'll dump the bodies in the forest. Then we will move the weapons to Volkov in Berlin. From there, we fly to Solovetsky.
But I have other plans for you. Perseus thinks too highly of you.
I don't want the competition.
Adler wants to stop Perseus before his next move, and has used you as a trump card.
The CIA reinvented you, Bell. We needed to give you a new identity to replace the old. It was Park's idea to make you MI6. She wanted that bond with you. You even picked up a bit of her accent. And we were able to utilize your language and cryptography skills as an added bonus. The bigger challenge was your memory.
The CIA's MK-Ultra program used Adler's missions in Vietnam as a template. We needed you to have that shared experience, that lifelong bond, to establish trust.
No. Count yourself lucky. You've only had those memories for a few months. Me? I've been living with them for over a decade. Interrogation didn't work with you, but thanks to MK-Ultra's research, we had a backup plan. If you believed you were someone else, we could lead you to a place where you'd give everything up. I don't think so. You're still holding back on us, and we are gonna get it out of you. We have a job to do. Bell, come on, we got a job to do.
We've got a job to do. We've got a job to do.
The trigger phrase kept you in line, but it didn't get us everything we needed. Your innermost secrets were always locked behind a door. Bell, I realize you probably hate us right now, what we've done to you. I just need you to fully understand the stakes here. What you do right now is not about me, it's not about you. It's about millions of other fucking people. It's about stopping someone who, in the end, has no true allegiance to anyone other than himself. So tell me, where is Perseus?
Once we control the Greenlight Arsenal, we will detonate them all from the safety of Solovetsky.
This is your chance to define who you really are, Bell. Where is Perseus?
This is where we get to make a choice. To put our past behind us for the greater good, and stop Perseus from detonating those nukes, killing God knows how many people, by telling the truth. Or get your revenge from having everything taken away from you. Since we're red at Wholesome Pickle Chungus, we'll put our past, our identity, our personality to one side, to do the greater good. For now, don't worry. We'll come back here later in the video.
Solovetsky. Sims, get Washington on the line. Everyone else gear up, we're leaving now.
After we've picked to tell the truth, we're welcome back to the team, showing that even after everything that's happened to us, our time together as a team has bonded us, and so begins the final mission. I hope I don't regret this choice, Adler. We get a cutscene that's your typical Hollywood speech, but we'll dive deeper into this later.
Perseus. The CIA's analysts consider him to be the single largest threat to the free world.
You've been given an important task. Protecting our very way of life from a great evil.
The United States and its allies slowly consume that which is dear to us.
We are hours away from Perseus detonating nuclear bombs in every major European city.
We'll do whatever it takes. Some of us have crossed the line to make sure the line's still there in the morning. No one's gonna brand us heroes or villains. They don't know us. As for me, I've been chasing this ghost for 13 years. That ends now.
So, the plan is to invade a part of Russia, as you do during the Cold War, while launching an EMP to stop the transmission of the detonation codes, giving us enough time to clear out the anti-aircraft guns so we can bomb the hell out of the place like the Middle East and Vietnam combined, preventing any of the transmissions of the codes.
Up on your right! Belikov really came through in the Soviet armor.
About time you caught up, boys.
No way I'm missing this. Motherfuckers are gonna pay for Ice and Lazard.
Look at your chance. Solovetsky's 2 clicks out.
All units, EMP in transit.
Starfish inbound, 400 knots. When that baby hits, we'll have 12 minutes max before the radio towers come back online. Our job is to knock out the AA guns and give our warbirds a clean shot. Let's take Perseus off the air.
We charge in there with APCs blowing shit up as we go. We get to a courtyard where we see the first gun. After blowing up the first gun, we push further into the complex, finding ourselves underground where you fight this fucker for the last time. Thank God. After dealing with him, we push further up to see the last gun that we need to take out before the bombing can begin. The timer starts to when the planes are about to drop their payload on top of us. After massacring the enemy, we just made it to blowing up the final gun. But we're caught up in the bombardment of the bombers. Black and Reagan talk about how the mission was a success.
They did it, Mr. President. They stopped the nukes.
Thank God.
And the CIA.
Did they get Perseus?
No, sir. His whereabouts are unknown.
And a Russian response?
Nothing yet. We're seeing signs of confusion. It's possible this was all a rogue operation. Perseus may not have been following orders from Moscow.
Well, I'll be damned. Maybe we have something in common after all.
Our team pulls us over the debris, and we get the happy ending that we deserve.
Give me a hand!
Take my hand, Bell. We did it. This is a message to Perseus, and those that'll follow him. We don't just sit back and hope for the best. We'll make the best happen. This is how wars are won, Bell.
Do you have an update on Qasim Javadi?
Yeah, after capturing Qasim Javadi, we've convinced him he's better off working for us rather than against us. The death of Arash Kadivar opens a path for Qasim to take control of their network. He'll give us deeper insight into Soviet activity in the Middle East, and with our resources behind him, he should be able to influence regional affairs for years to come.
What about Anton Volkov?
Volkov has become a prime source of information since his capture. After interrogating him, MI6 quickly established a series of listening posts in East Berlin. They've already intercepted messages from the KGB to assets throughout the city. We're poking holes in the Iron Curtain.
How did the cleanup in Havana go?
We were able to recover Agent Azoulay's body from the compound in Cuba. President Reagan personally reached out to his family, and his casket's in transit to Tel Aviv. As you know, Helen Park returned to London. She'll continue to recover from her injuries there. Afterwards, MI6 plans to give her a task force dedicated to finding Perseus.
What about the rest of the team?
They got off Solovetsky before the Soviets could send in forces to investigate. It'll take some time to heal up, then it's back to work.
We may have stopped Perseus, but his rats are still nesting all around us, thanks to the help of one of our own.
Not anymore. We took down that son of a bitch Aldrich, as well as his key assets here in the States. It'll take Perseus a while to recover from this one.
What about Europe?
Not only did we stop a nuclear attack, we managed to take out Major Vadim Rudnik. That should be a significant blow to Perseus's European network. We also flushed all of Rudnik's key assets down the shitter. Maybe someday Perseus can join him.
Hudson, you're the Shakespeare of Langley. And Bell.
Arctic air. There's the head, doesn't it? Bell, you made two extraordinary sacrifices to stop Perseus. One was without your knowledge. The other, you made that decision of your own accord. I just want you to know that this little thing that's happened with you and me, it was always for the greater good. You're a goddamn hero, you know that, kid. Heroes have to make sacrifices. That's why when I ask you for one more, I hope you understand. It was never personal.
So yeah, they just kill us. After all we gave up. Unwillingly, may I add. Adler just kills us because we're too much of a loose end for them. And this is the part of the video I really wanted to get to. where I look at our characters in a new light and actually show that they're not the good guys in any shape or form, and that Adler is just like Perseus in many ways. As I've shown in bits around this video, there are hints to us not being, well, us, the whole time, with Adler watching you, to the documents on the floor, or not remembering decoding the book at the beginning. Now, let's look at what happened to us. We were put through MK Ultra, a real-life experiment done by the CIA to try and control people's minds. And I recommend you look it up if you don't know what it is. That's of course after this video, please. So we had everything about us as a person, as a human being, wiped from us. Wiped for the sake of the greater good. Think about that for a second. Imagine everyone you knew. Everyone you cared about. Your favourite foods, smells, sights, wiped, gone. Isn't that just pure evil? Other than the physical body, you have basically killed a person and created someone new. And can we talk about this is basically the same thing that Mason went through in Black Ops 1, but worse as they wiped the person? I'm surprised that Mason would be okay with this after what happened to him, and to a much worse degree. Something this game does that I don't see a lot of people talk about, which is that the game shows how similar the superpowers are, and that the USA isn't the great that is depicted in the media. And there's some shady shit too. Like for example, just look at this clip from earlier.
Comrade Belikov, we are in grave danger from the capitalists. Our collective, our very way of life is at risk.
Notice anything similar? Let's look at this clip from Black Ops 1.
We are in grave danger from the communists. Our freedom, our very way of life is at risk.
This shows that the Soviets, along with the Americans, believe that they're in a fight for survival of their very own civilization. And seeing the decline of the Soviet Union makes others, like Perseus, make such drastic moves to supposedly save the Union. Now let me ask you this. If Adler was in the same position as Perseus, seeing the states start to fail, don't you think he would do the same thing? Of course he would. He's somebody willing to kill just to keep America on top and the Soviets down. And let's look at Adler. He's been lying to you from the very beginning and done cruel experiments on you. But even look at how he tells you about his Scar story 3 different times.
Scar? You mean this? Is it noticeable? I jumped off a roof in Calcutta back in '75 while chasing a Soviet agent. The jump was successful. The landing, not so much. Advice? Always make sure you know where the utility poles are. Scar? You mean this? Is it noticeable? Back in '73, I was nearly killed by a tiger while on a mission in Malaysia. But human ingenuity still rules the animal kingdom. You ever been attacked by a tiger, Bell? Scar? You mean this? Is it noticeable? You know what they say about kids falling in with a bad crowd? Well, let's just say I fell in with the worst part of the bad crowd. The girl wasn't worth it. Believe me.
Further showing he's a lying piece of shit, and I would say that he is the antagonist of the story, not Perseus. Now, let's talk about that very mysterious Russian man. But to do that, I'd like to go back in time in the video. We wake up in Vietnam, but this time we're not going to follow Adler's orders. So, when we get to the part when he tells us to pick up an M16...
You ran forward and picked up an M16. Or maybe it was another one.
But we're done following his orders. And we run away from the fight.
You just ran away? That doesn't sound like you.
When we get to the path for the first time and he tells us to go right, we go left. Daft comrade. He tries to get us onto the zipline to head to the cave, but fuck him, and we jump off the cliff.
Sure, Bell, you committed suicide. Then what happened?
Bruh! After finding out we can't kill ourselves, we go across the bridge. We find the same bit again, however, things start to be different once we enter the red door. We enter a white room, with a chair and a TV. This was the chair and the TV they tortured us with, making us watch The Big Bang Theory over and over again. Is that even a relevant joke now? Am I relevant? Am I too old for life? Spain without the S. As we approach the path again, we see the TVs throughout the campaign. We've seen these TVs turn on with Vietnam footage before. This is some of the programming in our head doing this, showing us that part of the torture method was playing Vietnam footage, to make us believe we were there. Also, I like how Adler shrugs off giving someone the memories and experiences which they truly believe of one of the worst wars in the Cold War, and goes, get over it.
No. Count yourself lucky. You've only had those memories for a few months. Me? I've been living with them for over a decade.
Just showing how much of a piece of shit he is. We go the left path again, and we take the left bit here, pissing off Adler more. Good. Very good. We fight some VC, drop some more primes on them, then we enter the red door again. And we're in a CIA lab, which they had us played with like some toy in a sick game. We come to see a white room again and again, but more detail is in the room, like we're starting to remember what happened to us. Now we see the whole room with us in it, and Adler mid-mind wiping session. They try to give us more drugs to stop us. But we see a room with Perseus.
That's it, Bell. That's what you were looking for. Perseus was in there.
And then, finally, a room with Adler, Sims, and Park, all looking over us. It's a scene very reminiscent to Black Ops 1, with Dragovich, Sachenko, and Steiner looking over Mason, after they were fucking with his mind. Further showing that these two groups aren't much different from each other, and are willing to do anything to overcome the other, no matter the human cost. And we get to the last window, where we are now in the room. The room which we were tortured in. And what do you see there? A red door. So yeah, that's what the red door is in the real world, not in Bell's mind. It's the door that led out of the room. The room where he was being trapped. The room where he was being tortured. The room where he lost his memories and personality. And during all that pain and suffering that he was going through, he was clearly focused on that red door. Because to Bell, that red door is freedom. Freedom from all the pain and suffering he was going through. So yeah, that's the red door. The door to freedom.
Another dose. We'll keep rerunning Scenario 1. Bell, we've got a job to do.
I wouldn't advise that.
I didn't ask.
Further showing that Adler really doesn't give a damn about us, if that wasn't obvious by now. And now one of my favourite parts of the game, killing Adler with a grenade launcher. Such beauty, such wholesome gameplay. When we get to the part of the path, we try left, only to meet a dead end, with a giant stone head of Adler. I want to pee on it. Meaning that we have to follow the path which Adler told us to go down. So we go down the zipline until he tells us to go into the cave. Instead we're going to go into this hole in the ground and see what's happening.
Into the cave. Why is... Sims, this is Scenario 17. A tunnel? Okay, you pulled out your sidearm and flashlight.
Okay, this is a bit spooky. Okay, I'm gonna die horribly. I've accepted my fate. We've dropped down into this big room with no exit. Oh, we're not alone. Zombies attack us. Which, I'm not gonna lie, the first time doing this scared the shit out of me. But we fight them off until we die. But since I'm such a pro zombies player, it takes me 2.5 minutes to die. Yeah, I can hear you all being impressed. After we die, we wake up to see a red door. We are in the corridor that we get stuck in.
I don't care if the door was fucking stuck, open it!
After we find the door, after saying hi to Demon Adler, we end up in the lab again. We fall through the floor again. We enter a room where we see many TVs and chairs and cameras. Most likely where we, and maybe others, were tested on. Yeah, we see all the TVs come on. And Adler say pleasant comments like he doesn't give a damn about you. You're just a tool for our mission. After, Adler makes us skip the beginning.
The bunker door was right there at the ruins, Bell. You went in.
He tells us to go through the red door, and we refuse and run. But red doors fall from the sky.
Bell, open the door. What happened in the bunker, Bell? Something to you. What was it?
Until he traps us, and we have to go through the door. And we see the Perseus bit again. If we pay attention to some of the things here, like this, for example.
Our leaders continue to weaken under this threat.
Perseus talks about how his leaders are weak in failing the Soviet Union, showing that Perseus is doing this out of his own interest, which he believes is the USSR's interest, and that he uses phrasings that makes Perseus sound like a group and not an individual, which is confirmed to us later. So if you really think about it, the Soviet Union is a victim here. Perseus is operating without authority and is doing this behind their back, making the Soviet Union none the wiser to the plans to use the green light nukes. So it's more accurate to say that in this game, that it's the USA versus Perseus, not the USSR. After we wake up again, let us have a look at what happened to us. Because Park and Adler say we were betrayed by Perseus, which isn't true. This guy betrayed us because we were a threat to his position in the group.
But I have other plans for you. Perseus thinks too highly of you. I don't want the competition.
Meaning that he didn't betray us. This twat did. And we get the moment of truth, or as we call it, the moment of lies. Where we tell the group that we need to go to Duga.
Sims, get what?
Notice how their text is now red, because they are the enemy, and have always been our enemy.
You made the right choice, Bell. Come on.
I know I made the right choice, Adler. And we have one thing left to do.
Adler. Right. Yeah? We'll leave with it.
Now remember this radio from earlier? Now it's time to use it.
We won't let the president...
And with that done, we're set for our revenge.
5 years ago, NATO intelligence detected a powerful signal of unknown origin. The new signal created radio disruptions worldwide.
Not to mention all kinds of conspiracy theories.
NATO quickly tracked it to this facility in the Soviet Republic of Ukraine, the Duga Radar Array.
It's an over-the-horizon radar system. Big improvement over their old missile defense tech. It uses a lot of juice. Could be used to broadcast any kind of long-range signal they want.
Like detonation codes to every green light nuke in Europe. Where exactly is this thing?
About 60 miles north of Kiev, between the cities of Pripyat and Chernobyl.
Wait, what? Hold on, what year is this? Oh, okay. We have some time before the event.
It's nothing but thick forest for miles around.
A perfect hiding spot for Perseus.
We'll have to drop you in a little further out. No recon, no heavy support. Just a light infiltration squad.
Shouldn't be a problem. Just point the way.
Bell came through for us in the nick of time. I never doubted it.
The arrogance of this man. Oof.
Adler, still seeing no activity from our side.
Same. I haven't seen shit.
All right. Everyone converge on the gate. You sure you're not forgetting something, Bell?
There's nothing here. This can't be the right place.
We ain't seeing anything on our side either.
It's him! He fucking lied to us!
That true, Bell? You pull us out to the middle of nowhere Russia so Perseus can detonate those nukes?
Unless stopped, the United States will harm the world more than those nukes.
What kind of fucked up logic is that? What a waste. You actually could have done something with yourself, kid.
Like getting shot and dumped into the ocean, Adler? Like help the US hide nukes across the world?
Those nukes were for defense, not offense. You don't recognize the difference? I'd let you walk back to Perseus, but I think I'll spare you the regret instead.
At least he never robbed me of my identity.
Apparently we didn't do a good enough job. Time's up, kid.
Sorry, Adler. I've got a job to do. That's a bit close.
Taking cover!
Get inside, Adler! We'll cover you!
On your feet, comrade. Ready for a little retribution?
Now is our time for revenge. We turn our gun on our own supposed friends, killing one of these friends one after the other.
Shut the fuck up! You're dead!
Until they're all dead, and only one man to kill left.
Over here, comrade. This is it. Your friend went through here. He is not far. Come out and play. You are running out of time. And space.
Now we follow his blood with our new Russian friend.
The cat becomes the mouse.
Until we enter a room with the one and only.
Glad to see you still care. Mind giving me a light?
There is two ways this can go. We can just shoot him.
No hesitation. I always loved that about you.
Or we can do his last request. Only for him to pull a sneaky on us. But that doesn't turn out well for him. Die, you son of a bitch. Enjoy hell.
That street dog should have been put down long ago. You remember my face, don't you? Solovetsky, stand by for the detonation order.
Так точно.
I think you deserve this moment, comrade.
Let the new Soviet era begin. Detonate the nukes.
Так точно.
I wish we could return to Solovetsky to watch it all unfold, but that chapter is closed now. We begin the next one together. You did well. And to think, after all this time, they still believe I'm Perseus. As if Perseus could ever be an individual working alone. So American. We'll need a new home now. The Central Committee will be more surprised than the CIA. Even if we made the best choice for the future of our homeland. Yet, for humanity, their eyes will be as clouded as ours once were. Come, there is still much to be done.
So yeah, even though you killed his people, damaged his plans, and actually almost stopped his plans. Perseus welcomes you back, like a lost friend, which is strange to think. In all this game, you've played with these characters, and the only one to truly be your ally, your friend, is the one you screwed over the most and seen the least in the game. He even lets you do the big moment of detonating the nukes, something he wanted to do the most.
The Central Committee will be more surprised than the CIA. Even if we made the best choice for the future of our homeland. Yet, for humanity, their eyes will be as clouded as ours once were.
And this confirms that Perseus wasn't working for the KGB or the USSR, but for himself, and what he believed was right. He still possibly killed millions for his Poseidon's way of saving the USSR, but think about it. If Adler and Perseus were switched, and the USA was in the same position as the USSR, don't you think Adler would do the same thing? Wipe away millions to save his civilization, his way of life? I truly believe that he would, but the difference is between them. One is your friend, and is glad to see you back, and the other is using you for his own end. Now we have Black and Reagan talking about what happened.
My God. How many green light nukes did he detonate?
All of them, Mr. President.
Does anyone know the bombs were ours?
Materials related to Operation Greenlight were anonymously released an hour ago, presumably by Perseus. Calls are beginning to come in from across the globe.
That son of a bitch.
You and Vice President Bush are to be moved to secure locations immediately.
I want any business related to this thing erased forever. Everything. Can you make that happen?
Of course. It's already begun.
We will watch Europe burn. We will watch the empire of the United States collapse under its own weight. A world with two superpowers will become a world with one. The Soviet Union. And if the leaders of this new world order squander the opportunity we have provided them, then they too will be replaced.
And this further shows that the leaders of the USSR will have no idea what's going on, and if necessary, to Perseus's eyes, might need to be killed and replaced.
Qasim Javadi, your former friends killed him. No matter. Qasim was always a weak link, and the chain cannot break. It is a shame you had to kill Anton Volkov. He was our most valuable GDR asset. But perhaps with the fall of the West, it will not prove so great a blow. You say that Eleazar Azoulay perished in Cuba. We will not miss that one. His interference with our Middle East assets will be a distraction no more. As for the rest, it was a pleasure eliminating them by your side. With the West in chaos, our key agents within the United States are in place and ready for the next phase of our plan. Now that Europe is in disarray, our agents within their respective governments can help craft Europe's future. One completely aligned with the interests of the Soviet Union. My friend, we are just getting started.
Val, welcome to West Berlin. We've got a job to do.
The CIA's mind control program has had a great deal of success.
Do not trust Adler. Adler is lying to you. Do not trust him. Once we control the Greenlight Arsenal, we will detonate them all from the safety of Solovetsky.
Val, you're with Sims. You usually bring out the best in each other. A source tipped us off that there may be a heavy hitter in town. A Soviet operative known as Perseus. Oh, shit.
Mission accomplished. We have the intel. Let's bug out.
Are you feeling all right, Val?
Moving!
You're special, Val. But it also sounds like you need a nap.
Thought it went pretty damn well.
Here we go!
Just plant the tracker and get out of there.
I could probably make use of it, but you are damaged goods.
Let's go.
Selected access.
What the fuck is Operation Greenlight? You knew the nuke was from Greenlight. Didn't tell us. What else are you hiding?
Are you taking him into the KGB with you? Are you crazy?
I need Bell. He's got the skill we need.
You enjoying this? You're risking the entire operation unnecessarily.
It's not unnecessary. It's calculated.
Just understand that if you botch this...
Let's go, Bell.
We can't get those names. It's over.
Got the list and we're heading back.
This is it. Recent movements of Theodore Hastings has led us here. Cuba.
Adler, we have eyes on the nuclear device. Bloody hell! Someone's killing the scientists!
Take cover!
Shit!
Perseus doesn't have a single fucking nuke. He's got dozens.
Millions of people are gonna die.
Now!
Heart rate is spiking. I'm not sure how much longer Bell can last.
What happened in the bunker, Bell? Where is Perseus?
It's him! Fucking lied to us! Push up! Push up! Go! Go! Go!
On your feet, comrade. Ready for a little retribution?
Val, you shook up a can, Val! In it!
And that was the Cold War campaign. Now sadly, due to the multiplayer in Warzone, which is set after the story, the truth ending is canon. However, they have linked this game with Modern Warfare's world, with the likes of Zakhaev. So, it'd be interesting to see how Cold War's story plays into the next Modern Warfare. My idea is that Zakhaev will be angry due to the fall of the Soviet Union and will follow in Perseus' footsteps. However, it would be cool for Treyarch to make their next game a sequel to Cold War that takes place after the Lies ending. I'd like to see a story set in a world where the Soviet Union dominates or won the Cold War. Maybe even play as Soviet soldiers in a new war set in this new world, and maybe learn the truth about Perseus. It's just an idea. A game idea. However, the Cold War story doesn't end there. It continues in a not-so-known mode known as Warzone, where we meet some new characters, but the one you only really need to know is Stitch, who was one of the men under Kravchenko in charge of the Nova 6 production on Rebirth Island, the island in Black Ops 1, where Reznov kills Steiner. Or was it Mason? He was captured by Adler, and was tortured and had his eye pulled out for revenge for Weaver. Okay, that's breaking the Geneva Convention. You know what the fuck am I talking about? No one follows that shit in this game. Unlike real life, right? So Stitch is the new big bad, and captures Adler in Season 1, and presumably tortures him. In Season 2, we head into the jungle, where we meet... you know what, I'm not even going to touch that. Where we find the place where Adler was getting karma. But sadly, no Adler. So we go to Verdansk in Season 3. The evil G.I. Joe take a Soviet mountain base and a disc with Dragovich's numbers program. And not wanting to leave any evidence, they set off a fucking nuke because fuck World War III. But we happily see Adler being tortured in Verdansk. Do you get it? Do you get it? I don't like him yet? But at the end of the season, they save him. In Season 4, we go toe-to on this bitch and end up in Africa, where this nice man gives this guy a massage, and in return, he brings down some American satellites that are getting in Stitch's way, and they live happily ever after. After, one of the satellites crash into Verdansk, and the other into North Africa, where Captain America gets to the satellite before his friends, and takes the data for himself. In Season 5, we end up being in the peace-loving country of Germany. It's 1984 and they just say Germany. Fun. Where a NATO station is hacked, and the numbers broadcast is played across the waves, making sleeper agents awake. However, Hudson puts it together that Adler is not in his right mind, but is affected by the numbers program. Oh no, he got brainwashed, what a shame, he would never do something like that. In Season 6, the last season, we end up in a similar place to Black Ops 1's main menu. But our boy Stitch is in a German World War II bunker in Verdansk with a bunch of bombs. Turns out Adler did some fucky-wucky and either put some bombs or activated some bombs that were there after the war to blow up Verdansk, because why the fuck not? How is the Red Army not shown up by this point? Like, a satellite crashed, an American one at that, and enough bombs to destroy a city went off. Is the Red Army on vacation? And finally Mason deprograms Adler, and they head back into the field. At the end, we see Adler confronts Stitch, where Adler calls him a monster, like, you took the man's eye, and he did the same thing to you which you did to Bell. Bro, the hypocrisy on this man. Stitch calls him out for it, and tells him where Perseus is.
This changes nothing. Tell me where Perseus is. You never understood. Perseus was never one man. It's an ideal. Bigger than any of us.
Oh, spare me your horse shit. Where the fuck is Perseus?
Right here. Ganser took him in '83. No.
Yep, this man. But the littlest of time we spent with him, I found him to be a cool and interesting character. But he's fucking dead by cancer nonetheless. So there goes my idea for the next game. Thanks, Treyarch. Prick.
Why isn't it possible? It's just not. Why not, you stupid bastard?
And Stitch may or may not have died. It is left vague. But hey, they teased the next Call of Duty, Vanguard.
Look at where we are. This was the Eastern Front. The blood of millions of my people soaked deep into this soil. Men and women who paid the ultimate price for what had to be done.
Which is set on World War II, on all fronts, besides the Chinese one. But that might have something to do with who won the Chinese Civil War. And the game comes out November... Wait. That was a few days ago. Wait, does that mean that this video that I've been making for just under a year, and all I went through make this video, all the shit I had to go through to make this video, pointless because everyone will be on new COD and won't even look at this video? Son of a bitch. So, you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Sorry this took so long to make, but hey, it's out now, and I'd like to make more videos like this in the future, but hopefully with less time to make them. Life just got a bit crazy for me with me starting this video back in November of 2020, but due to education, exams, and personal struggles in my life, just made the video come out later than it should have been. But videos should be more common after this big ass project. If you'd like to see me cover any other games, I'll get onto it. I do enjoy making videos, but at this current point, they're a hobby. And hey, you never know, if you guys keep supporting me, I might be able to make something out of this channel. Thank you all for watching. This has been the Spicy Panzer. See you boys next time.